All right. I want to tell you guys what I think is possibly the reason as to why there's so many sick people out there this flu season. And I want to think about the possibility of this having something to do with chemtrails. We know that, back in the 90s when they had chemtrails, and I will just tell you guys this as far as the surveillance is concerned today, every time I get up and walk across the room, the guy underneath me starts slamming his doors. And then I went to put on music, and as I was scrolling through the music, I hadn't done anything but just sat here reading this book for about 2 hours in silent. And as I'm scrolling through this catalog of music I'm about to start listening to, haven't even stood up, haven't walked across the room, been sitting in the same place, stationary, for probably 30, 40 minutes at this point. And so as I'm doing that, he gets up, walks out, slams his front door, gets in the car, slams the door of the car, and drives away. Just saying, And I knew there was really no reason for them to be slamming cabinet doors every time I walk across the room. But I figure maybe they're frustrated, maybe they're venting and they're being dysfunctional. Because I know there's a kid down there, or at least there was, but that's the thing too, is they just bring families around me now, because whenever I catch them, I've just straight up intimidated people into admitting everything and got pictures of them and was able to call the police on them and stuff. So they take a different route with me now. They just have families, and it's just really weird. And the last house I was living in, I just had surveillance, because when the guy across the street moved, I just put surveillance on the house, because I was like, the next guy who's moving is just going to sit in his front yard all day long. And that's exactly what they did. It was just, I just know exactly what they're going to do, because there's nothing left. It just becomes deranged, and it's just about like, if I get up and walk across the room, then maybe I'm doing something, and maybe I'm like having a life, or something, and it's just miserable people, because they can never be happy doing what they're doing. I don't know how they get them to do this. All I know is that I have the evidence of this going on posted in another video where you can actually see the pictures of them that I was telling you I got. Anyways, so sorry I had to go through all that first, but that's just kind of what's going on today. Anyways, moving out the same day as me, you see the mattress in the bed of my truck, and they're in their underwear, they got cots in their arms, just, Most of y'all know the story, but some new people are going to think that I'm full of shit, so just got to go through it all, and you can go in there and find it yourself. You can see my reflection in the back of the truck. Anyways, the thing of the story is what I'm trying to say on this is they exhibited flu-like symptoms, and you'll think, well, and even the author of this book said that, the average person will say that's a really, really inefficient way of distributing pathogens. But you also have to, they say, well, there's pathogens in the atmosphere, and it's probably coming in by that. But you've got to consider the fact that while they are coming in on such a massive scale, that the possibility is that, anything they can come in at that scale, and I'll tell you what the scale is, okay? Because I've noted some of these studies, and I'm going to read them out to you right here. The potential environmental effects of chemtrails are especially alarming. This is a population control by Jim Mars. I know a lot of y'all probably already know I'm reading this. I've got some other stuff I've been reading too, but this guy was the best, and he just recently died, so I really encourage you to pick up this book while it's still somewhat relevant, because he's dead now. So anyways, the potential environmental effects of chemtrails are especially alarming after a 5-year study around Mount Shasta in California determined that chemtrails were causing eco-collapse. More than 61,000 parts per billion of aluminum were found in snow at Mount Shasta, when the normal level should have been around 7 parts per billion. In addition, the soil pH had changed from acidic to neutral, and the trees were dying. Most concerning was the fact that around 80%, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, of amphibious species in tributaries had died off, and the local potato harvest had declined by 80%. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. And I also wanted to go through something else with y'all real quick, because for some people there's going to be, you can't satisfy. Well, so a Houston, Texas study found that over the course of 63 days of observation, military aircraft laid down white plumes that lasted for 8 hours or more, while commercial airliners flying at the same altitude left contrails that lasted no longer than 25 seconds. Stranger still were observations of aircraft not filing flight plans, and hence not recorded by the FAA or shown in the flight software. It was discovered that the jets that were responsible for leaving highly persistent trails that last for hours did not ever appear on Flight Explorer. Wow, isn't that interesting? They weren't even in the flight. They didn't even log their flights. Yeah, probably not. And so, John P. Holdren has said that he thinks that if they spray enough aluminum into the atmosphere that, they can deflect the sun's rays and mitigate, which John P. Holdren has been cited for saying some of the most anti-human, he's one of the most genocidal maniacs probably the world's ever known, just based on his own admissions, and it's heavily cited, some of the really, really crazy stuff that he said about killing people. So even if you want to go as far as to believe that he really believes it, it's just, there's a lot of people that are sick this season. It's in all 50 states, and I'm sitting around thinking to myself, how did they get it to all these people? Because a lot of us are drinking filtered water. We won't even drink the tap water anymore. I know that fluoride can still get in through your skin. That's dangerous and bad enough, but just sickness on that scale, it just, you start to wonder, how does it come about? And when I start reading reports that, fuck, man, that they killed off a whole ecosystem almost, with the amount of aluminum that they were spraying, it's just a mess, man. It's just a mess. And the author is sitting there talking about, well, what could the point of this be? Was it for Monsanto to create a barium and aluminum resistant seed? And I'm like, no, that's not why. They did it to kill us. They've got a lot of power. It's more than a lot. So getting your head around the motivations of it, when you don't even really understand the degree of what's going on and how far the government has obfuscated from, any semblance of, duty that it ever had, when they're printing up money by the trillions and sending it all over the world, and you're not even allowed to know about it. I think it's pretty fucking bad. And so anyways, and that was years ago. So anyways, the thing about it is just, it's just something that I think is possible. And, you start talking about the flu-like symptoms and all that. As you can hear, the neighbors are slamming their doors now. So that was the loudest one I've heard all day. So you already know why, And like I said before, I think it's kind of, sometimes I think it's like I'm supposed to be happy for them because now they've arrived, because it's like the whole culture is like Kim Kardashian and watching Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian kind of like revels in it. So maybe I'm supposed to like feel like, maybe in this new culture I'm supposed to feel like I'm having a gift given to me right now. And we're all supposed to kind of just, you're jealous of me and I've arrived. I think maybe that's why they're so audacious about it, to even sit there and have a fit while I'm on the fucking phone making a fucking video. As soon as I make my next valid point, you'll notice I had a while there where I just kind of drifted into, little bits of, just pontification, and then as soon as I go right back to a valid point, a solid piece of evidence, a citation, going back to the research, bam, you hear the fucking door slam. They don't give a shit. They don't fucking care. At this point, they can't get their heads around why I'm not afraid, but yet I can't be afraid when all I feel is like wanting to drag you further and further out into the open where I can fucking get you killed. And trust me, it's gonna happen, you know? At this point, nobody's fucking happy with what you're up to. I know you think that you've signed on to something unstoppable, and it was irresistible to you because you've been beat up in high school and you're fucking pathetic and all this, and I'm sorry that the government, you know, gave you that, you know, irresistible temptation, you know, for a person, a sick person who it was the last thing they needed, you know, for many, many reasons. I don't know. I apologize for being a citizen of a country that allowed that, you know, as well as many things, you know. Sometimes I even feel like guilty because of what's going on. I'm like, you know, where did I fuck up? Somewhere along the lines, I fucked up. You know, I couldn't be totally, you know, not to blame, even though I'm standing up against it. I just don't know. It's just one of those things where the shit is so fucking spun out that it just makes you want to apologize for it, you know, even when you can't, you know. It's just unreal to me, you know. This is unreal to me. You know, they come over my phones, they let me know, they talk to me. Everything's just moment to moment, paying attention to every fucking thing you do, looking for every little thing. You know, I've taken all the phones and all the devices that they go in another room, so now it's just when I walk across the room, that's all they got to interact with. You know, they don't know what's going on up here. Maybe a movie or something. You know, like I've told you before, we're at the very crux in the resolution, the very climax of the movie. In those few seconds, you know, just consistently slamming the doors, let me know. And, you know, it's just, you know, what else? You know, there was nothing else. There was nothing. You know, I think that should make some people real frustrated just to think, you know, they'll do whatever they can. And they've tried to kill me. So that's like, you're wondering why haven't they just killed you? They have tried. This is it. This is all they can come up with. They've tried so many fucking times. Different people have tried. They've seen that. You know, and it's just, they're just like, whoa, what else? If he's walking across the room, slam the fucking cabinets. There was nothing left. There was absolutely nothing. Okay? That's the government. Okay? That's the fucking government. Every bit. Don't go into denial about wanting to have your guns so they can, you know, kill you if you don't shut up. Yeah, really. Yeah, really. No, it's not about trying to keep people from doing mass shootings. It's about killing you if you don't shut up. Okay? I mean, let's get down to the brass tacks of what does this really mean. The brass tacks. Okay? What's the brass tacks? I mean, we talk about gun control. We talk about government wanting gun control. Nobody ever really just says it. I mean, even the right wing is, you know, somewhat pro-gun. You know, even though it's part of a, you know, just a left-right paradigm and an indirect means of taking your guns through the drug war. But, you know, they pay lip service. But they still don't, you know, just give it the brass tacks. Just let you know it's about killing you if you don't shut up. That's what the U.S. government wants to do. Okay? I mean, when they talk gun control, I mean, you might as well just put on your, you know, your glasses, your secret glasses that let you see everything and just start hearing what they really, it would be really cool. We had technology. You could just put a little earpiece in and just hear the truth. Like, you know, Obama standing up and talking about gun control, but then you like put your secret, you know, hearing aid in and it's, I want to kill you for not shutting the fuck up. I want to kill you for not shutting the fuck up. I want to kill you for not shutting the fuck up. I want to kill you for not shutting the fuck up. And the other person, you know, whatever they have to say, and then back to that. You know, I'm just saying, you know. I guess I'm kind of like losing my train of thought. They're starting to, you hear them opening and shutting the doors and stuff. They're letting me know. I'm getting kind of tired. So yeah, it's true. And so, anyways, I would usually go back and just edit that out, but I'm just gonna leave it in there now so y'all can actually see what's going on. Yeah, whenever you start to feel exhausted, somebody else is feeling that. Tanner's starting to get tired. This is hard to listen to. Somebody else in the immediate proximity of myself is listening to this live, feeling those things, and if you listen hard enough, you can actually hear them in the background, kind of getting restless, opening, shutting doors, finding something else to do, finding somewhere else to be, trying to get out of the room, while everybody else sits there listening on headphones to what I'm doing right underneath me, with no furniture at all. Literally had no furniture, just a cot on the floor. And I called the cops on them. I told them, they admitted it. They told me that they're just here. I don't know who these people are. They told me that they're here watching me, and they thought I was on drugs. They did not address those people at all. And then later on, whenever I moved out, they moved out when I moved out, and you can see the mattress in the bed of my truck, and you can see my reflection, and you can see them with cot, and I can hear them talking right now. They're talking about coming up here and killing me right now because it's starting to bother them, because now they have to think about, our cover is blown, totally blown. Yeah, let the wheels work around in your fucking stupid little head, moron. I don't care how much it bothers you. I don't care what you think you're gonna get done here. Let's get that out in the open as well. Don't y'all remember? Here they come, guys. And when you're coming, guys, I'll know, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry about me at all. I'll know, guys. I'll know when they're coming, guys. I know when you're coming, guys. Don't fucking worry about it. But I will tell you this much. If there was no other way, I got shotguns and stuff. I could just sit around and blow your fucking brains out. I might as well do that. I've been pretty fucking nice. Anyways, the point of the story is this. It's just... I have to have guns, I have to have a gun on me all the time. The point of the story is just this. It's just, whenever you are, doing that, I just don't understand. I don't know what the point was, I don't know why do they need to be there? They never did tell me, I tried to confront him about it, and he wouldn't even talk about it. He just basically tried to talk me out of killing him, but I just did that to get him to talk about it. But I was so fucked up, I just can't even tell you. It was just crazy. I knew that they were there, but I had to get real screwed up on some stuff. I'd never done it before, and I just got really fucked up on drugs, to be honest with you. And I just went ahead and confronted them because they trotted out in my face, to them, on a normal everyday basis, it's just, you're supposed to be afraid, and somewhat I'm like, it's not, they just know that I'm not just going to go down there and just pull somebody out the apartment and beat their ass, So it's constantly escalating, it's constantly becoming more obvious, and they've got their point to make, is that I'm supposed to shut up, I'm supposed to change, I'm supposed to stop paying attention to what's going on, I'm supposed to be afraid, Because at this point, there's nothing left but for them to just keep towing that line. If I don't stop, then they don't stop. And so, until we can just get it out there so fucking far. But even at that, I'm telling you, it won't stop, because they don't even think that you believe me. Even with the evidence out there, they don't think that you believe me at all. They don't. And they think that you think that I'm kind of crazy, there's some truth to it, but I'm kind of nuts, I can't be trusted anymore because, it's happened to me, and so I have bias and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so all that shit gets taken into consideration, and they do really bank on that, and they bank on it really, really hard, and to the effect that, that they're doing this in my face all the fucking time. And I'm telling you, one of these days I'm just going to get fucking coked out and just be like, I may kick their fucking door in and go down there and find out that there's no furniture in there, or I may just go in there and just kill everybody, because you can't just keep fucking with people like that, I mean, you just can't, and you're going to, even if, absent doing drugs, you won't act like that, but you're going to cause somebody to do drugs, and you're just set up to fail, really, because they don't have to die, so you get to go and die for them, and the best thing I could ever do was just prove to people that this is going on. You know what I mean? I mean, to get those images, to intimidate you into talking was good, but, that was like 7 years ago. I don't have the fucking goddamn, spirit to do that anymore. I don't have the inner, will, I'm 33 years old, but I mean, seriously, I'm getting to the point in life where, you could probably get me to do it still, just by fucking with me, because people that go about assuming shit with my fucking ass, I'm telling you, it's dumb. And really, I'm just about to move anyways. I don't even have to live here at all. So I'm gonna move to another apartment, and then I'm gonna end up. And these people, I promise you, man, you're never off my list. I want you to know that. I want you to know that you're never off my list, but eventually I'll fucking find you and kill you. Okay? But beyond that, I'm still gonna I'm gonna leave this fucking place and go to another apartment in Colorado. Then whenever I get done there, basically I'm gonna find out if I really want to live in Colorado or not. And then after 3 or 4 months of that, then I'm gonna get a house up there, probably get like a little 1 acre type thing, and just keep people away from me, because if I can get a 1 acre lot, then I can keep motherfuckers, at least that far away from me, and some motherfuckers are going to commit suicide. I can tell you that right now, because losing this kind of proximity to me and losing all that access whenever I can just take something and stick it outside, or take something and stick it, in the car, and then just be in the house, and then having to not even be able to be next door to me or close to me, or sit across the street and stalk me, like if I put up a tree line, they'll commit suicide. They'll fucking commit suicide, because this is, for some people, this is all they got. I mean, you took away fucking being in my general area or just stalking me. I can tell you right now what it means to them, because they know exactly what I'm doing every single second. I mean, that's beyond human. You should not know. You should not be able to just respond instantaneously, like just the first time somebody decides to experiment with saying something to you, like, experimentally to see if you'll respond, and then just boom, instantly you're already just there. That's beyond human to be that focused. So we already know what it means to you. It means every fucking thing, because a Buddhist monk can maintain perfect focus for 45 minutes. That's it. But the average person is 5. No, actually, the average person is like less than that. But either way, the point of the story is that you're doing shit that's beyond human. And that's because there's a deeply emotional bond that you have to it that goes into your level of insecurity and shit like that, really. Because you need to live through other people, because you feel weak about yourself, but not just a little weak. You feel real weak. That's why you really need it a lot. So just trust me. I know what it means to you, and I know that when you lose this, it's going to be like losing. Like, I do think they'll commit suicide. I really think that there will be suicide. I almost think there's going to be blood in the streets. I mean, whenever I fucking first started doing this, I knew that I would hear somewhere somebody talking about the difficulty of tracking people whenever they can't keep their phone on them. And it was just boom. It was probably about a week later I heard Edward Snowden talking about it. So he's just in contact with his old fucking buddies, and they're talking about, the difficulty of tracking me around. It's probably all the talk of the town. It's probably all they talk about. Because I took something really, really, really powerful away from him. It was more important to them than diamonds and gold and jewelry. I mean, no money can replace what I took. And I really know that people are going to be deeply affected. You think I'm full of shit? No, these motherfuckers are attached to seeing your face every time you look in your phone. They're attached. Especially some of y'all that are more famous and more and all that, man, y'all are like, oh my God. For somebody like Kim Kardashian, it's probably like she enjoys it. You know what I mean? Because she's never done nothing useful in her life. She gets to pretend that she has. But for the average person, I mean, it's not a good feeling. I don't know how to say that, you know. Jeez.